Hi guys, welcome again to a video about Btrfs. I've just created a new ISO ALCI with Plasma on it, and I've installed it now, and we're booting inside ArcoLinux Calamares installer ALCI with Plasma available. It does not contain some of the stuff you would think, right? Because it's just Plasma Meta. It's a group package, but it does have Btrfs. So that's the one thing you need to make sure that inside Calamares you tell them to go for Btrfs. The rest you can install later. In this case, Timeshift is there. There are two other packages here, but basically sudo pacman -s, it's done. So Timeshift is pre-installed in this particular setup, and then often if you're an X4, it's going to be this, right? You need to use rsync as a tool to create snapshots. But here on Btrfs, let's maybe install Gparted. Why not? So in the meantime, I can install other stuff as well. What am I still missing on this system? Xterm is a lovely site, but Console is maybe a little bit more practical. Console is not there. Gparted, let's get that as well. Or there is also the partition manager, the K partition manager. What's that called again? Let's get that first in. Right, so Pacman does not have a clue where the stuff is, so you update the databases. Now he knows what to get where. And then we go get console, that's one thing. The other thing, what package, it's always knowledge, right? The name of the package, K partition thing, K, or partition manager. That's it, partition manager, Git, I see it already, partition manager, Git. Or just this one. So it's an alternative to Gparted. If you know that, that's cool. But this is the one from Plasma. So partition, voila. Just showing you guys, this is Btrfs. So right, check. We can set this system to make, and what is Timeshift? To make snapshots. Like in Time Machine, you could go back a certain moment in time where everything still worked. That's the idea. Never had any use for it, for this particular tool or fallback system, but I understand that people would like to have this feeling that you have something, as a fallback, right? As a service that's running on your system, and you can always boot up again. So devices displayed above have Btrfs file system. Snapshots are saved on system partition. Other partitions not supported. Snapshots are saved to Timeshift Btrfs on selected partition. Other locations are not supported. Read, right? Read. How many times a day? Fixed time. It's a crony that needs to run, so a cron, and kind of background service that will ensure now I will run. In this case, it's gonna run daily, and it's gonna keep 5 snapshots before it's gonna delete the 6th one then. Okay, next. Include the home subvolume in back if you want to. Entirely up to you. Next, and we are reading. Scheduled snapshots are enabled, will be created automatically for selected levels. System can be rolled back, and that's why we use this, right? System can be rolled back to a previous date by restoring a snapshot. Okay, restoring a snapshot will replace subvolumes and system volumes currently in use, will be preserved as a new snapshot. If required, this snapshot can be restored later to undo the restore. So it feels like we'll never lose anything, basically, if you read this. Are saved on the same disk or is created if the system disk fails. Yeah, if the system disk fails. Then of course everything else fails. That's common sense. Hard disk failure, fine. Bye-bye hard disk, buy a new one. And then we have a finish button. Let's create one already, so that's done. So a manual create, and we can also restore later on if he's ready, because he needs to, well, have time to make a snapshot. Now, while that's doing its thing, what have we installed more? If we go to Firefox, don't think we have that. So this is a very, very minimal installation. Just set to the system, give me Plasma Meta. That's it. So this is not working. The Plasma, the backend is not there either. So it's so not ready yet, right? But that's the ALCI ArcoLinux Calamares installer. The only goal is put Calamares on ArcoLinux. What you do then is entirely up to you. If you don't have the knowledge to fix these things, well, go find the knowledge is of course the idea. And in this case, you need a browser. So you take a browser. Where can we find such knowledge? Well, basically, probably lots of places, but hey, if we launch an ArcoLinux B ISO from Plasma, where will we find it? We will find the way to build it on a certain GitHub. The certain GitHub is here. And what will it say? It will give us a list of the packages we need to install ArcoLinux, ArcoLinux, and yep, there they go, the F16s. And here we have the list. If you want to discover to work, you need that. It's all about knowledge. There are no bugs. It's all about knowledge. Did I forget something? Is a better approach than, oh, doesn't work, stupid thing, right? Keep on thinking, why is it not working? So Discover is as of now working. So this thing has no backend, just gave it a backend. Here you go, working. So in here is a list of things we put on our, here it is, partition manager, on our ArcoLinux B. You make other decisions, right? It's entirely up to you what you decide to put on your Plasma system. But we just wanted to have a look because this is information for Plasma, what we think are good choices to put on a minimal Plasma installation, right? Still very minimal, but in already having something about encryption here and stuff like that, don't like it, don't install it, and build the ISO. That's the point of the ArcoLinux B ISOs. Build it yourself. Now, the ISO we're working on is coming from here, from the project ALCI Online and the GitHub. Here's the code, and here's the ISO def. And let's go to the code. That is way too big. Arch ISO. Packages, again a packages file, again a long list of Lego blocks. And here we decide to install already this, install already that, and install already this. So basically what we're going over now is these things. So I've already made a snapshot with Timeshift, click manually. Wouldn't it be great that there would be in Grub a line that says boot directly into a snapshot if something fails, and you can't boot into the regular Linux line, the first line normally in Grub, right? You go to the Timeshift link and boot into a certain snap image. So, okay, Timeshift, Grub-btrfs, Timeshift-autosnap. So these things are on the ISO already. Now, in order for me to learn about them, what I often do, and this is not my regular desktop, we have 21 desktops in ArcoLinux, I usually have PAMAC already somewhere near me because I always want to read and use PAMAC to learn more. So installing PAMAC all, You can see what you need for that. This is the all one, which means you have Flatpak support and Snapd support. What I want to know is, even though I have installed these packages, do I need to do something? Will they just work like that? Or do I need to do something? So again, update this line. Software update, add remove software. That's the line of Panic. So Grub-btrfs. We've installed this one. And this is why I like, because it's a graphical user interface, of course, I can do the same with Pacman in a terminal, but here you go and have a look. Okay, that's needed, fine. Optional dependencies. Okay, it's cool, fine. And then files. What is changed on your system? There is an application. There is convert image and so on. You keep on reading, you keep on scrolling. Okay, fine. Is there anything else? Can we make this bigger? Yeah, we can make this bigger. So with this knowledge, you understand more or less, okay, what is added to your system. There is a service that's called scrub. Suppose, I think that means clean up or something, right? But we don't know, right? I just make an assumption, and that's dangerous. Never assume. Ask, in this case, read. And we have a hook here and install btrfs. Okay, so that's something we've looked at. Now there's something else installed. We need to remove this guy left over, I see. Doesn't matter. But we need to look for something else. We installed something else with the Grub-btrfs and Grub. Let's see if we can find it. Here it is. Include btrfs snapshots in Grub boot options. That's a link I would press. I'll go back to it later. Okay, go read. Here is the backup file, so configuration file there. Dependencies, okay, we've got all that. Snapper we don't need. There is optional for Timeshift-autosnap. Got that installed. Timeshift-autosnap is installed. If I got that right, should be installed. So that's this one. And the files. We got a configuration in Grub. Of course, we need to have something in Grub if we want to have a line in there. And then a hook for Pacman, hooks, overlay file system, and so on. A service we like to investigate. So if we install things like that, is it then already enabled? Or should I enable it myself? Should I start it? Should I reboot it? Those are questions that are valid, that you should think about. Well, we can have a look. Timeshift has got its time already. Let's see. Yeah, okay, done. 4.4 gigabyte. We have a snapshot, number one. 16.3 gigs, we still have some space left. Now, we will reboot, so leave, reboot, log out. No, I actually want to reboot, restart. Let's see if we find something in the Grub. Then you say, this looks quite normal. Nothing extra inside Grub. True. So, you have analyzed that there is something to be done. Could I quickly change to my standard SDDM? Well, we have, in the previous videos, we've explained to you how we moved a certain theme from A to B, and it's now available for ALCI. So this nice ALCI Arch Paint is now applied. So next time we boot up, we see something nicer than the standard SDDM. Not part of the video, just part of the project, ALCI. Now, let's continue on that train of thought, that sudo systemctl. Can we make this bigger? Much bigger. Nice, right? Blah. So sudo systemctl, and then you ask the status. From what? Maybe it starts with G. Okay, G, grub. I see a grub thing there. Btrfs path. Where's the other guy? Let's do this. Aha, service, there you are. And let's have a look. What's the service? It's inactive, it's dead. Oh God, right? So maybe I should, is it enabled? Let's see. We get a lot of questions, a lot of text here, not questions, text. This does not look normal. Status. What did I type? Enable. Okay. And possible reasons for having this kind of units are. They're not meant to be enabled by using systemctl. All good and well. And we started them. All right, let's start it. There was also something about mentioning our pathway. We should definitely now go and have a look and read, right? Read, because I'm making assumptions again. So we can so we are at Grub-btrfs, and we can have snapshots in the grub menu. Snapshot, support snapshot, snapper, timeshift. Timeshift is what we have. Here you find the log files. Fine. It will do automatically all of that. We install that one. We've done that. This is our command update grub. If we are on ArcoLinux, we can modify parameters there. And then here it is. If you would like Grub-btrfs menu to automatically update when a snapshot is created, then you use this one. That's why we activated it. So automatically update when a snapshot is created, path. To start monitoring. Okay. We'll see how far we get with this, but there's a lot more documentation here. All right, sudo reboot. And suddenly we have something more. ArcoLinux snapshots. Enter. Okay, 2015. I look at the time. That's the date, 59 o'clock. Okay, and then with a right mouse click, so the arrow to the right, I can have the minutes, 15:43. Yeah, so that's probably when the video started. I pressed the button there to make a time a snapshot. That's the word, a snapshot. Okay. What if we keep installing things? So this is the new look we have. SDM Arch Paint. So fine, thank you. Where's my console? Right mouse click. Pin to the panel. Voila. And then install sudo pacman -s. Oh, fine, there are updates. So we'll just do an update. Okay. And this happens, right? Because of updates, because of changes, your system is gonna make a new run timeshift backup timeshift snapshot of, well, that's correct, that's the time. With your general partition is not a word, subvolume is the word, and the home subvolume, and that's it. Snapshot saved successfully, on demand, triggered, right? And then we get a new update here for Grub. So if we reboot, let's have a look. If we reboot, restart is the button here, restart, we'll have 2 lines. And then every time you install stuff or you update or you remove, every single time it's going to make a snapshot. It will take its time, right? You have added something more to the system. You've added extra work to the system. So if you're not into that, that's understandable. Then you don't go for Grub-btrfs. This AutoSnap thing. So I don't know if it was clear, but I just went into this thing. So this is the first one. So arrow to the right, 1543, 1558. Here are the dates, the hours and the dates. All right, I could go back in there, but I'll just go back in the first line. And that's how these things work. I was thinking about one thing more. Timeshift-autosnap thing. I don't think we have to do anything for it, or do we? So we have installed Timeshift-autosnap. We didn't take a look at that. So update is the word, and the long line is PAMAC. Timeshift-autosnap. Timeshift-autosnap. It's installed. Timeshift-autosnapshot script, which runs before package upgrade using Pacman hook. That's what happened, right? That's just what we just saw that happened. But anyway, let's go in there. Dependencies. Well, check out this one, right? Read again. Timeshift-autosnap hook. Always interesting to learn about hooks. Read, execute. Okay. And then creates timeshift snapshot with unique comment. Deletes all snapshots which are not created, which are created using this script. Auto generate grub if Grub-btrfs package is installed. Yes, it's installed, right? Can be manually executed by running this if I wanted to. And there are some configurations that we can try out and see if that's something we want. All right. Dependencies, timeshift, Grub-btrfs, and we have basically not very much, right? Configuration, an application, a hook for Pacman, and the license. That's it. But it's already working. Control T. I don't know, sudo pacman -s vivoli. I install something and it breaks my system. Before it's installed, however, I should have seen something, right? Don't see the grub change. But I do now. So when you upgrade, it's triggered. It's not triggered when you install something new, but when you upgrade elements. So let's say GIMP breaks after an update, you can always go back to a certain snapshot before you updated it, upgraded it. Yeah, update, upgrade, but not installed. So that's the message, right? Not installed. But here we see all the lines coming up. I should have 3. Let's take a look with Timeshift. So what will that show us? All right, there you go. 3 elements. That's the time of the video. Started, middle, and now. Starting to grow. Now, as a last reminder, I am not a user of BTRFS. I am not a specialist of BTRFS, but I get why people would like to have something similar like this. So I think with these three tools, you have already great environments, automatic creation of a snapshot when you upgrade things, and Grub is there as well to help you. Let's have a look last time to Grub, because it will have line 3. Let's hope, right? So things crashes, so oh my god, everything crashes, you go here, and indeed we have a third line. We can always go back to this particular line. Alright, that is enough for me for a trial, a first video on BTRFS. I assure you there are more videos about it on YouTube, so check them out. This is of course installed with Calamares and with what's possible at this point in time. Calamares will get better as always and for free, and will support it. But it's entirely up to you to decide if you want to have BTRFS and these extra elements that we've installed now. Alright, enjoy your experiments with Grub, with BTRFS or BTRFS as they say, and play around with it. Cheers!